Publish it all over the place. Stop that.
I'm sorry.
Look, I'm having my first beer in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Too many calories.
Mm. I am on a mission to eat only salads for lunch.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I'll talk about this. uh, all right, we good to go?
Uh, yeah.
Oh, wait. Let me get us back. There we go. We have us now. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Alrighty. I think it's going live.
Oh, let me get a soda real quick.
Sure, man.
Some caffeine. I'm back.
Yes, I'm 21. So I went to your damn site. Stop it.
You sure you're 21?
No. That's it. I don't give you any I don't give you any nutritional information. Fine. We'll go with IPA.
Oh Lord, don't look up the nutritional content of beer, Doc. Why would you do that to yourself?
I think I put it in my app.
Oh, you're using the app. Which app were you using?
Lose it?
Oh, I haven't heard of that one, but there was my fitness or something that I used to use back in the day.
Alright. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Howdy folks, and welcome back to Joystick and Mouse, video game news and reviews for all you filthy casuals out there. I'm Don, I go with Diddy in the gaming community. With me this evening as always is Jay Dimes.
What's going on?
This is episode 136 and today is May the 2nd, 2022. And today on the program, another studio game is, Jesus. Another game studio is for sale. Gotta catch them all, literally. Which game characters are making some bank? Disney looks to try and create a more adult game. And there may be dragons on this episode of Joystick and Mouse. So, what's going on, J Dimes? What's up in your world?
Nothing much. Getting ready for the big birthday month. You know, everybody in the house has a birthday in May. Me, Vanessa, and Will. All of our birthdays are in May.
Nice.
So yeah.
So you just have a birthday month?
Just have a birthday month. Will and I's are the 17th. And then...
I didn't know that. You and Will have the same birthday?
Yep, we share.
I did not know. That's really cool.
And then Vanessa's is the 25th.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And both of my parents are in April. So it's been just like one long birthday party.
Yeah, that's sort of January for us. All three kids are in January, 3 weeks apart, a month after Christmas. You gotta love it.
You know, my sister's is the day after Christmas.
Oh, really? Oh, that so sucks.
Yeah, she's been getting screwed on presents her whole life.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, mine's in July, so it's like right in the middle of the year, and there's nothing going on around there. So
yeah.
It's all good. Yeah, if I had a birthday, though, I couldn't have cake. Well, I could.
You can't have cake.
I couldn't have cake. Or I could, but I'd have to put it in my app. So, man, I looked in the mirror a couple of weeks ago right after our show, and I was like, I have got to do something about that. I've got like a COVID 30 going on or something. It's bad. And so I started looking around and I found this app called Lose It. And it's a pretty good app, but basically it's you record every single thing that you eat.
Yeah.
Every single thing. And you have a limit, but there's no, and you set up a plan. You say, I want to lose, 100 pounds by a certain date. And it puts you, it gives you a calorie limit for the day. But I'll tell you, it's amazing. Once you start recording it, once you start looking at it, when you think about how many calories you take in a day just without trying, it's amazing. And honestly, that's all it is.
It's what Weight Watchers has been telling people for decades.
It's all about portion control. It's all about making sure you have a cup of cereal in the morning. Like, I used to take a bowl and fill the freaking bowl. So Target sells a cereal bowl, right? There are these plastic cereal bowls. They have like 100 of them, different colors, sitting in the middle of the aisle. Here's a cereal bowl. You take the cereal bowl, you fill it up, you eat the cereal. Not a big deal, right? You start measuring that damn thing had 3 cups of cereal in it.
Have you looked at intermittent fasting?
I have looked at intermittent
fasting. So you just skip breakfast altogether?
Yeah, I'll say this. I haven't been hungry, and I really like that I can eat whatever the hell I want. Like Saturday we went out. Here comes my side tangent. Saturday we went out and we went over to Whole Foods. Whole Foods used to have the best sports burger bar going. It used to be fantastic. We went in there Saturday and I'm like, all right, I'm going to have a burger. It's going to be great. It was, I don't want to say it was awful. It was a hamburger. It was, a burger, but it wasn't what it used to be. It just...
Do they still have the TVs and stuff up in there?
They still have the TVs, not as many. They still got the really big one, but they don't have as many TVs, but they still have sports on them. But it just wasn't the same. They have tables. Remember, they used to have these those four really long big
Yeah,
tables, and half the fun of it was you would sit next to somebody and you didn't know them, and nope, they just have regular tables in there to sit.
blame
And
COVID.
blame COVID. The food was not as good. Although my
Uh,
wife had these uh um cauliflower bites uh with buffalo sauce on them.
hmm
Those actually were quite good. Um, those weren't bad, but the burger I had was nothing special. Uh,
mm,
Foster's kills it. So
yeah.
I was really disappointed. I was like, all right, I got that on my system. I don't have to worry about it anymore. So
Well, listen, they used to also have amazing barbecue, and
it
they got rid of the
wasn't,
barbecue pit.
yep, they don't have that anymore at all.
The guy was telling, like, the last time I was in there, I was asking about the barbecue pit, and they were like, no, but some of the stuff that we used to sell is on the hot bar. And I'm still not here for hot bars.
No,
Like,
no, me either. I can't do a
I,
community thing
but
like
I
that.
used to love when I used to live in Fair Lakes. I would, I used to live over there behind the Safeway,
Mm-hmm.
and I would get up on Saturday morning, normally like 11 o'clock in the afternoon, throw some clothes on, and just get to Whole Foods in time before they had taken down the breakfast bar.
Oh man.
And they used to have shrimp and grits with cheese in it on the
Mm-hmm.
breakfast bar, and they had amazing sausage, breakfast sausage, and I'd get like half a waffle, throw it all in there, go back home, and be ready for another food coma by the time I ate all of it.
I know they used to be. They used to have. They used to have a fantastic omelet bar.
hmm But
That
you know what? Their omelets
amazing.
were a little too wet for me. Like I would always ask the guy to cook the eggs a little harder.
Yeah.
And then I would end up coming home and putting the omelet in the oven for like 10, 15 minutes. Cause there was just the eggs were a little too runny for me. I wasn't comfortable with it. Um but yeah, and they used to do the Peking duck
Yeah.
wraps.
Uh huh. Yep. Yeah. They don't
Yeah.
have hardly anything. They even used to have. You could get stir fry,
Mm,
and they don't even have that
never did the stir
anymore.
fry. They still have the ramen bar though, right?
Uh, I don't know if they have the ramen bar anymore or not.
Oh. So one of my possible trips this summer, I may be going to Austin to meet up with a buddy who is coming back to Texas for about a month in between them PCSing to Korea.
Oh wow.
And I was like, well, I've always wanted to go to Austin, and they're only a couple hours. I was like, well, maybe I'll go to Austin and we can meet up. And I think Whole Foods is either headquartered out of Austin or they have a huge store in Austin. But my buddy who used to live in Texas was saying that like they would have all these food trucks and whatnot that would be in the parking lot of the Whole Foods
Huh.
all day and they'd sell food. So I'm kind of excited to do that. Plus, you know, all the Texas barbecue I can eat.
Yeah. Well, Texas barbecue is very good.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's real good. All right, let's get into it here. Now that we've gone off on our food tangents,
hey, we're gonna talk about food again. It's coming.
we are. All right, Square Enix is selling Tomb Raider, Dos Ex, and Thief, and the studio that did them as well. Let's see if the new owners can also be as disappointed by great games that sell well. So the story behind that is that Square Enix was never happy with these games, even though they were huge hits, always sold really well. But Western studio, they would always come out and say, "Well, that didn't perform up to standards." So let's let's think about where we would like those IPs and franchises to go. We know that there's a new Tomb Raider in the works. We know that there's a new Dos Ex in the works. I think I heard that, but haven't heard anything about Thief for a while. So, all great games, all done by Western Studios, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, And Square Enix always said, well, those didn't do as well as we thought they were going to. So where would we like to see them go? I mean, there are two logical landing points.
Yeah. So I would say, and the list is not, nobody's talking about Hitman, but Hitman is done by Square Enix and Eidos. So
I think they'd keep that though, right? It's just Western studios that they're getting rid of.
is Hitman not done by a Western studio?
Crystal Dynamics. Oh yeah, Eidos Montreal and Square Enix Montreal. Yep, all gone. Wow. Huh.
So if Hitman is also included, as much as I would love Microsoft to get both of them, I would be willing to compromise and let PlayStation have Tomb Raider. That might package really well against Uncharted. It might be too much overlap for them though. To have both of those
Yeah.
games might not work as well for them. But I would like Hitman.
Hitman was good. 3 was very very good. I enjoyed it. I never finished it, but I enjoyed it when I did.
I think what they've shown with Hitman is that you can do a lot of different things with that game to make it viable. I don't know that there are but so many things you can do with Tomb Raider. So I don't think it gives them as much flexibility as Hitman does.
Well, okay, let's face it. Tomb Raider is basically always going to be the same game. You, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's Uncharted. Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I shouldn't say that. Uncharted is Tomb Raider.
Yeah, they're both basically the same game. So it's always going to be the same. It's going to look prettier and just have new stories. So it's going to be the same game. We're going to enjoy it because we enjoy that game and we enjoy that world that they've created there, and the characters that are in it. So we're going to like that. We're going to enjoy it. I guess the question is where would we like to enjoy it, right? I see. Yeah, I can't see somebody having that and Uncharted both. They just
Yeah.
they're sort of the same game. Now you could put them in the same engine and it might make them easier to develop.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. I don't think any of the other, I mean, I guess Amazon could make a run at Tomb Raider or Hitman. I mean, that would be a great feather in their cap. But the other question would be, would they want to spend the money to produce that game?
Yeah. I I wonder if this is how Google could get back in it.
Let's listen. Let Google, let them go ahead and gracefully exit the.
Because I keep hearing stuff from them. Hey, we put oh god, what did he put out this week on Stadia? Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds? Oh no, what's the other one? Outlands. Well, okay, it's basically the same game, but still, you know, they keep adding games. It's just I don't know
They
who's
could
playing
make
them.
both of those games could be very good VR games. They would be very good for the Quest.
I can absolutely see Tomb Raider as a VR game. That would be fantastic. Same with Uncharted. Those would both make great VR games. I definitely could see
Otherwise,
that.
I think they need to go to a studio that's going to be able to keep them as third party games and put out the money to produce them. And that doesn't leave you with a lot of options. You know, you've got EA, UB, and I'm always leery of asking UB to have them take more. Who's got
Yeah,
Gearbox? Who's got
that's
who's got
them.
that's who?
Isn't Gearbox
Is
is
Gearbox a part of?
God, I thought so. I thought that was part of yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, okay. So the same Oh. I did not realize this. Okay. So they actually have a buyer already called the Embracer Group.
Oh,
And they are the company that owns Gearbox and THQ. Oh, I did not understand that at all. When I've read two articles about this, and that didn't click that they already have a buyer for it.
I didn't know Gearbox was
Gearbox is its
owned.
yeah its
Oh
own
yeah,
company. It's owned by a
as of December of last year.
yeah it's owned by what do you call it, venture capitalist company.
Yeah, so I listen. I think that's a great place for them.
I think that is too. Let them do their thing. Keep making those games. Bring back Thief, please, because that was a great game. Really enjoyed that.
I
I don't,
never played Thief.
and I don't usually like stealth games. It's weird. I don't usually like stealth games, but Hitman started it. I enjoyed Hitman, and then it went on to Assassin's Creed, and I really enjoyed that. And now even in this Horizons, yes, you can stand and annihilate them, but there's also a lot of stealth in it too, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, I think that that seems like a good. I'm under interested as to why Square Enix is getting rid of them. Don't
Yeah, I don't
know.
know.
Maybe they don't fit in their Final Fantasy style a type of
Yeah,
game.
I mean,
Maybe.
it could also just be one of those deals where you know, like making a game for Western. Um,
that's what I meant. It's not in their style.
so yeah, I could see that if that was the case.
Alrighty. Oh, on to the next one. Tim, you got the next story?
Dude,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Os-
Just wait.
yeah, Oslo, Oslo County Sheriff's Office deputies opened fire on four suspects believed to have stolen Pokemon cards and pizza. One died after being transported to a hospital, while two others were charged with petty theft. Um, I don't think he's supposed to get shot for petty theft.
I don't either.
I
I don't.
unless the story tells me that these guys had guns or were endangering other people. I
I,
I don't.
I didn't hear it. Nope. No. Yeah. So here's the thing I don't understand. It is fucking guys. It's Pokemon cards. Seriously, come on. I, a lot of places in our area have stopped selling them. They just won't sell them anymore because they cause too many problems. I know,
Yeah,
like most of the department stores won't sell them.
yeah. Target was doing a thing for a while because they had an incident prior to this where somebody got beat up in their parking lot,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Yeah,
they moved the sales to online only. It's really like it's really crazy how high the demand has become for Pokemon cards.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
and I agree with you. It's petty theft, even if they stole Pokemon cards. Jesus, guys, come on! Do we really need to shoot people for petty theft? Is this really necessary? Um, there were I know I read through the story briefly. They didn't say anything about guns or anything like that. Uh
nope.
oh, nope. Killing an unarmed man for stealing Pokemon cards. Yeah, it just
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen,
just it's
don't
Florida.
steal
Yes, it's
all
Florida.
those other things,
I
but uh,
oh, this is at a Target too. And see, I didn't think Target anywhere was something, but it's in Florida, so Florida has different rules. They just it's a different world down there. It just is.
Yeah.
But man, there's so. I think we could spend a couple of hours on the social implications of this.
Yeah, and surprisingly, it's not on any like CNN or anything like that. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Yeah, none of the major news networks.
I, and that's the thing. Nobody covered this. I wouldn't have known about this unless except I saw it scroll past the scroll past my news feed, and I was like, what? Pokemon cards? But then jeez, are there any Pokemon? Are Pokemon cards really worth that much money anymore?
Yeah,
Are they? Not
yeah,
something I've ever been really involved in. My boys were into it for a while.
yeah. I've known some people that have had like their original stuff that they've held on to all this time, and a lot of that stuff is some of their stuff is sold
This is my
for pretty
favorite.
good money.
Here's my favorite Pokemon card.
Who is that?
Charmander. And my
Ah,
wife got it for me for Valentine's Day.
very nice.
It says, I choose you.
It could be valuable one day,
I think
more than sentimental.
it's very sentimental. All right.
But yeah, that's
I, yeah, guys, don't steal and please and and if you're a police officer, please don't shoot people for petty theft. It's just not worth it. Was it really worth somebody losing their life over?
yeah. I mean, maybe we'll find out later that there were weapons or other things involved, but
Maybe, but I don't know. Alrighty. Uh, I think you have the next one too.
video game characters may be the acme of escapism, but most of them do still have jobs within their own worlds. Which ones are paid the most? Online gaming site Solitaire did some number crunching to see who the biggest earner in the game sphere is.
So I ran across this and this was like, this is so cute. This is so weird that I had to put it in the show. Like,
The number one doesn't surprise me at all.
it doesn't
Doesn't
surprise
surprise me at
me.
all.
It doesn't surprise me, but I still don't think. I think it's undervalued. So their number one was Handsome Jack, the CEO of Hyperion, which is the bad company in Borderlands. So, and they estimated at 432,524 as the CEO of a company. Look, I've played Borderlands. There's more money than in in there. I've had more money than that. I know there's more than that. I know he has more than that.
This is just the income he declares.
Well, okay, fine. Yep. No. All right. Yeah, that sort of makes sense. Uh, I don't know if I can read the list, but so Handsome Jack at 432, Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid at 139. For characters, these aren't those aren't that big of salaries. Just
No.
Albert Wesker, who's in Resident Evil, Alex Mason, who's in Call of Duty, Max Payne from Max Payne, Cole Phillips from L.A. Noire. I've never played that.
Now, let me just say, I wonder if his salary is adjusted for inflation. Because if that's what he was making during the time that During the time that story occurred, he was living like a.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Gordon Freeman at 91,000 from Half Life. Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption, 90,000. I can guarantee you Arthur makes more than that because I have more than that.
Uh,
Mortimer Goth from The Sims. He's a scientist at 89. I don't know how they came up with some of this shit. Isaac
is this
Clarke from
just
Dead
average
Space,
salary for?
84,000. I don't know.
Maybe they just correlated this back to the real world and looked at like the average salary that somebody in that job would make in the
I
real world.
I believe that's what they did. So like in the Isaac Clarke was an engineer in Dead Space. 84,000 is probably about what. Well, okay, not in this area. I don't know what they're talking about, but base level score across the United States. Yeah, an engineer probably makes 85 grand. Um, the lowest earner. Now, I actually found the lowest earners sort of interesting. They said Pac-Man was the lowest earner
I can believe that.
because Pac-Man was a security guard. And so
Was he?
apparently it's at $20,000.
Well,
Uh,
who was paying Marcus Phoenix? Because there didn't seem to be anybody with any money in that game.
that's true.
He
Yeah.
looked like he had volunteered.
They didn't.
He was in the
They didn't.
volunteer
Yeah,
militia.
they didn't put anybody as zero. So there are a couple though, like Private First Class is at 25K for Cloud Strife and Final Fantasy. Marcus was a sergeant in Gears of War, 31,000. Does a sergeant only make 31 grand?
Well, I'm gonna assume. Well, Sergeant probably makes more than that when you put in like housing and all that stuff.
True, true. They do get housing and other perks. So
Oh man. So here, ooh, no, that might be right. So according to Google, an E5 makes 2610 a month.
wow, really? That's it?
Yep.
Wow,
$31,320 with raises up to 3,700 a month once they've gotten over 12 years.
wow.
So, yeah. Now, also, Marcus was retired. So maybe
True,
that amount is his pension.
true. Yeah, this was a really interesting little article. It'll be in the show notes. You can take a look at it. I thought it was really interesting. Somebody's really interesting take on video games. It was a little different. It was like, I would have, I could have sworn there had to be somebody else that made more than 400 grand in one of the games. You would have thought somebody um in Grand Theft Auto was way over that, but maybe not. Maybe not. Write in and tell us what you think, guys. Alrighty. So Disney this week announced a new game. And the game looks perfect for Disney adults. It's called Disney Dreamlight Valley. And it definitely has its fingers on the fandom's pulse. So the general gist of the game is the Disney worlds, the worlds of Disney, like the ice for that ice movie that all the kids loved and stuff. They've all been taken over by this corruption, and you have to try to remove the corruption from the land. It looks interesting. It looks different. Um it's a sim like like
Like The
Civ
Sims.
5 or something like that, like the Civ games or something like that. And I found it was interesting. And my first thought was, didn't we already play this? Didn't they already have a game like this where you had to remove the corruption from all the Disney areas?
I
And
don't remember.
I know I played it, but I'll be damned if I can remember the name of it or find any reference to it. But I was almost positive that we had this already from them. Sounds fun. Coming to all the platforms: PS5, Xbox, Mac, Switch, PC, everywhere.
That's a game that I feel like is better suited for the Switch.
And I was gonna say this seems like the perfect Switch or Steam console game. What is it? Steam Link? What the hell's their console name? Steam something or other. They're all handheld. It seems perfect for that.
Oh
It
yeah, yeah.
seems great for that style gaze. I can't see somebody. I don't know. We played the hell out of the island game, but you know, can I see somebody sitting down and putting hundreds of hours into this on the PC or PS4 or
Yes.
something? I don't know.
Yes, yes, you can.
You can really.
Mm.
So
Wouldn't be me, but I could see people doing it.
so so one of the reasons that the um uh man him brain farts here, the other Square Enix games that are Disney based, uh not Final Fantasy, the other one. You can speak, go ahead. Kingdom Hearts, yes.
Ah,
One of the reasons Kingdom Hearts is so appealing is because all the characters are in it, right? You get to play as Goofy, you get to play as Donald and Mickey and stuff. It's it's interesting, right? So it's sort of fun to have all those characters in it. I think that's what makes this a little bit intriguing is that you get to play with all those characters. You get to um, try to save those worlds. So like you get to save Aladdin's city where all the and you get to save the ice realm and all those things. So it seems interesting. I don't think it's my style, but then again, I've spent a lot of time on Animal Crossing, so who knows? Maybe we shall see. Your thoughts?
not for me, but I'm sure there's an audience for it.
Yep. The trailer is very cute. It has Wally and Stitch and Lion King and everybody, Scar in it. So go take a look at the trailer. See if it's for you. Let us know what you think. Alrighty. So the next story is something J Dimes will not care about at all. Completely not. For me, the biggest news of the week was the worst kept secret of the year. Blizzard announced its next expansion for World of Warcraft. The heroes of Azeroth are headed to the Dragon Isles to help restore their powers and fight a new emerging evil. Why is there always an emerging evil? It just,
Because that's how they get your money.
that's just true.
If there was enduring hope, or not hope, enduring peace.
We have to go fight enduring hope.
If there was enduring peace, you'd have nothing to do. Because nobody wants this game to become a farming sim, right? You don't want to build houses and plant.
Oh no, everybody wants player
tomatoes.
housing. Everybody wants player housing.
So yeah, that's why that is what it is.
So let's face it, dragons sell, right? Dragons
Yeah.
always sell. And this one is all about the dragons. There are different flights of dragons within World of Warcraft. There's obviously the colors: blue, red, yellow, green, the black dragonflight, uh, all of that. And we're
A blue
going,
dragon?
yes, blue dragonflights. Yeah, the normal colors are blue, green, red, and black. Those are always the normal dragons, but uh, in fantasy type settings. So, anyways, so everybody said I want to play a dragon, right? So of course they gave us a dragon-like playable race that's coming, which is going to be really interesting. I thought it looked really cool. With some of the expansions, they've given what's called a hero class, so they're a little bit more powerful out of the gate, and they start at a higher level. This one is going to be a hero class, and you're going to be basically part dragon and have some draconic abilities. They are called the Dragthyr. Dragthyr? Dragthyr. No release date, of course. uh,
Of course.
uh, you get to 10 levels like normal. The other one that I thought was really interesting is you're getting, obviously, new mounts. And the new mounts will be dragons. But it's not like the mounts that you have now. You'll have to actually teach them how to fly and how to fly better. And as you go along, you give them new abilities and new ways to do certain things, and you have a whole talent tree to go with them. It sounds really interesting. It sounds sort of like the way Guild Wars does it, where you get skill in flying and it makes you fly better. These mounts will not work like your normal mounts. You can't get on one and just fly across the zone. It has physics to it where you have to glide and build up speed and momentum and all that kind of stuff. So it sounds really interesting. We will see how it works. um, I was pleasantly surprised. Obviously, the whole normal WoW stuff, new dungeons, new raids. So all that kind of stuff will be there. They didn't get into a whole lot other than there won't be any legendaries anymore, which is good because they were sort of a pain in the ass. Um, they're going to bring about talent trees, which everybody complained about. So we're getting those back again, which will be nice. So you'll be able to have a more customizable experience. So if you want to play a wizard but have a mage in World of Warcraft and have a little bit of healing ability, you might be able to do that. You want to play a tank but be able to maybe use a little bit of magic, you'll be able to do that too. So it sounds really interesting. I'm sure we'll get more information on it, coming up here real soon. But I was pleasantly surprised. Dragons always do well, sell well, and make a good one. And people wanted to go to Dragon House for a long time. So looks good. I'm happy with it. Do you have any thoughts at all, J9?
I am
Are
happy
dragons
that you're happy.
are dragons enough to get you to give it a try?
Nope. No. No. Maybe if they introduced a Game of Thrones skin on on it, maybe. But I can't even make any promises that that would be enough.
That was one of the things that they talked about that actually sounded really cool. So for this new dragon mount, you're going to be able to customize them. So you can do transmog on yourself. Like you can, whatever armor you have on, you can make it look like something else. Same thing with the dragons. You're going to be able to customize them to look however you want, so it can be really unique towards the player, which will be really cool. So your dragon won't look like everybody else's. So that sounds like a really good idea. We still didn't get Dance Studio. as my wife snickers in the background. Um, we That's sort of become the running joke of next expansion. You're getting Dance Studio. So that was all the news I had. I do have a game review this week. So I have all these games sitting over there, and it's like you, work has just been a bugger and a half. I've had very little time to play anything, but I did get to sit down this week and spend a few hours with a new game, and I absolutely loved it. So I got to play some of my Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. It's a Lego game. All Lego games are basically the same. I missed Lego Dimensions. I absolutely loved that, and they sort of just killed it. The toys to game didn't really work for anybody, but this is this is one of my favorite genres, the Lego games where you just run around and break everything, kill everything, break everything, collect all the pegs to give you that you can use to buy upgrades with.
Yeah.
And then still have a story, and it's all Star Wars. And it's so I fired up the game, and the very first thing you get is the Star Wars theme. You get the dun 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 dun, dun and the scroll and the scroll comes up, and it puts up the big Star Wars logo, and then it says a long ago in a galaxy far, far away. And it was just such a nostalgic rush. That very first time, I was like, I just sit there and stared at the screen for a while. It was so cool and so engrossing, and that I love that you're playing through the movie. You're it's a story. I'm only in the first section. The first story part of it. I probably got maybe halfway through it, and I just met Obi-Wan Kenobi. Spoiler alert. And okay, so you haven't seen A New Hope by now. Tough. It's I just got to the part where we met Obi-Wan Kenobi. Some of the stuff they cut out of it, they've sort of changed some few things, got around a few things, was really interesting. What they did with some stuff. But it's just been such a nostalgic rush playing through this and playing the story of the first movie. So I'm really having a blast with it. It's typical Lego. You got to break everything and collect all the pegs. But I would give it. This is fantastic. It's in a great world that we all love, and they've stayed really true to what it meant to be Star Wars. So great job. I give it a definite 9 to 10. Good, just a really, really good game.
Is this a newer?
It's brand new. It
Okay.
just came out a couple weeks ago. Playing it on Xbox. It's my only digital game I've bought for the Xbox. I really like that experience, except it is freaking huge. And I can see that I'm at 75% on my drive already. And I'm like, I just, these games are huge. So game manufacturers, hardware manufacturers, please put bigger bigger SSDs. They don't cost that much money. Put bigger SSDs in your consoles.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. I need to buy one of those little thingies
I bought one for the
because
PS5 because mine was full. I was already having to move stuff off, and I didn't have enough space to do the Cyberpunk upgrade.
uh
Yeah, so yeah, did you take advantage of that? that sale? Cyberpunk was $5 at Best Buy.
No, I told you all about it, but
I told you what happened, right?
yeah.
I had a $10 reward certificate, and it wouldn't let me use it because it was more than what the cost of the game was. So I had to buy another game, of course, to use the reward certificate, which was about to expire.
Hey, I mean,
So that'll be another
nothing better
one.
than that.
Yep, I'll have Elden Ring on my game review at some point in time in the future.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
again, yeah, if you like Lego games, this one is all of that and more because it's in Star Wars. So go check it out. Absolutely loved it. And that's the show, folks. Thanks
Hey,
for listening. If you want to like to reach out for the show in any way, email us at joystickandmouse@gmail.com. To learn about Jay Dimes and myself, go to joystickandmouse.com. That is and spelled out. And be sure to subscribe while you're over there and leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes if you enjoyed the show. So, and until next time, Tim, say goodbye.
take it easy, folks.
And as always, we'll see you later, folks.
If you like this show, check out more great content at incastmedianetwork.com.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Alrighty then. I don't know, man.
Tired?
No, actually, not really. Not tonight. For some reason.
Oh, I've had the worst back pain.
Oh,
Like my back
really?
has just been tight. It has been killing me.
So last week I did the elliptical every day.
Oh, good for you.
I skipped the weekend and then I did it again tonight. And
Good for you.
and you know, it's actually getting easier.
It's not getting
It
easier?
is.
Oh,
You don't think it ever does anything, and you're like, oh my god, this is killing me. I'm going to die. But you know, it is getting easier. Seriously, at first I could barely go 10 minutes. You know, and now I'm doing 15 and a little bit better. So it's definitely making a difference.
yeah, you're getting there.
I keep telling myself, you know, I was looking at that app, and the app gives you like little tidbits of inspiration, and one of them was just remember it took you all that time to put on the weight. It's going to take you time to take off the
Then
weight.
listen, nobody wants to hear that. We want it to
Nobody
just
wants to hear
fall
it.
off.
We want it to all
Fall
fall
off is what we want. I want to go to the gym, have a great workout, wake up the next morning, and it be.
off.
It's not how it works, but it's what I want.
I hear you. I want it too, man. I want it too.
But yeah, it's not how it works.
Unfortunately, no. No, and the older you get, the worse. Although I read some things that say that's not true.
That what?
That it isn't harder when you get older. Just you're you're building up more things in your body that keep you from losing weight.
Huh.
So my daughter is really into this biohacking, right? She's really into this, like what foods you eat and what they have in them and that kind of thing. But the one I found that makes a lot of sense is as you get older, it's harder for your okay, so it is harder. It's harder for your body to get rid of cortisol, which is the thing that tells your body to turn off your hormone production. Close enough. It's the scaled down version of what it does. Yeah, cliff notes of it. And so that hormone production is what turns on your metabolism and everything. It so many things are dependent upon it. So if you can so that I've sort of looked into how to reduce my cortisol. It's interesting.
You found any good information yet?
Yeah. So there are things that are bad for you are vegetable based oils. Apparently, they're just horrible. They like tell your body to store the cortisol. And do you know what's in almost everything that we eat?
Vegetable oil.
Vegetable based oils. Um, there's some like flaxseed is bad for you, and
Flaxseed is bad for you?
yeah, probably the worst thing you can possibly eat is something that has flaxseed in it, because flaxseed just tells your body keep all the cortisol, keep everything.
Oh.
There's some
That is very surprising to me.
There's some supplements you can take to help lower it. I'm trying those, and we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. So she's like all happy that I'm like trying some biohacking thing. Alrighty, let me end the stream.
I'm sure she's going to give you a lot of good food advice.